So our leadership of the One Health initiative is achieved through an advisory panel. And what we'd like to do now is introduce our advisory committee members. Those of our advisory committee members who are here will ask to just say a couple of words, but these are people to connect with across campus for anyone who wants to get involved, or has ideas, etc. So we'll just run through them. Fiona's here, so Fiona, thank you. Fiona McCarthy is a professor in animal and comparative biomedical sciences in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Fiona, do you want to just introduce yourself real quick?
Hi. Anyone who's interested with this kind of research, I'm happy to put you in touch with the people. I'm happy to put you in touch with the people who really do this work, or set up any information you need, send it out for you.
Great. And CALS is a huge part of One Health on campus, because so much of what is happening in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences has to do with environmental health, animal health, human health. So really the health sciences colleges and CALS are both huge players in this. Our next advisory committee member is Kacey Ernst. Is Kacey? Oh, there you are, Kacey. Kacey Ernst is representing the College of Public Health on our advisory committee, and she will introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kacey Ernst. I'm in the Department of Epidemiology, and I just wanted to also reiterate what Sharon said, which is to acknowledge the origin of the phrase that was used for our conference today, that water is life, that this is an indigenous phrase that was originated by indigenous peoples, and we really wanted to just make sure that that was said very clearly and plainly. So appreciate being introduced today, and happy to connect folks in the College of Public Health who are interested in One Health.
And Kacey, please also just say a word about the Interdisciplinary Research Center that you run.
Yes, so I also am part of co-director for the Bridging Biodiversity and Conservation Science Initiative, which is on main campus underneath AIR, and it is an initiative that brings together people from many different disciplines to look at how biodiversity impacts and biodiversity loss are altering our ability to be food secure, as well as the impacts that has on public health broadly, and particularly within the infectious disease emergence realm, which is what I work on. So thank you.
And one more thing, please, Kacey, if you could just say a word about the P20 pilot.
Sure. So the last thing is I just submitted with a wonderful team of colleagues here on campus one of the P20 NIH grants that is a planning grant for a climate change and health center. And so I am very hopeful that if we aren't funded this time, that we'll get funded on the next round in November. But we submitted it successfully, and I'm very excited about the possibility of working with more of you on climate change and health initiatives across campus, and to join with some of the other folks that are already engaging in this research. So is that it, Frank?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, great.
So one of the things that we really want to do in the One Health initiative is support new centers and new initiatives such as this climate change and health initiative, which Kacey is leading through that application at NIH. We're also helping to support T32, so a training grant, NIH training grant in the College of Pharmacy, and hopefully some other training grants coming up through the Cancer Center and so on. So that is another role for One Health here on campus. Our next advisory committee member you've already seen, Kristen Pilger-Brown, and she is in the College of Public Health, but also representing on the advisory board the College of Veterinary Medicine. So, Kristen?
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to thank you all for coming here today. And as Frank mentioned, I'm in the College of Public Health with Frank and Kacey, but I am also have an appointment in the College of Veterinary Medicine and work with researchers there. So we really, as One Health really has to encompass all three areas of human, animals, and environment. Obviously, the College of Vet Med is a pretty critical partner along with CALS and health sciences. And so if you have any interest in kind of working with some of the faculty in vet med, or if you have any other interest in also the educational side of One Health, so I kind of lead the educational arm along with Aminata Kalingo, who's not here, within the College of Public Health, and we really try to make that as multidisciplinary and across college as we can. So any initiatives in that area or any interest in those areas, please just let me know.
And also, just as an example of something you might not think of with One Health right away, but is super well fits into it, is work Kristen's doing with the animal shelters. Could you just say a quick word about that?
Sure. So one of my passion projects, because I don't get paid for it, but is to work with the Pima Animal Care Center and incorporating One Health into animal shelters, both in Pima County and across the country. And if you think about the work that animal shelters do, it's really not that hard to think about how One Health has really incorporated that, everything from the impacts of heat and homelessness and housing disparities and other things with our animal shelters. And so we have a very progressive animal shelter right now. If you're looking for someone to adopt or if you want to foster some kittens, very good time right now. I'm also on the advisory board of PAC. So, and there's a lot of ways that we can really use these as kind of hubs for One Health and become models for other shelters around the world, because it really incorporates, like, how do we help people by helping animals within their environment? And it's a very holistic view that I'm very passionate about. So
Thank you,
Thank
Kristen.
you.
Yeah, and another just quick example along those lines, it turns out that cats are a really good model for the health effects of flame retardant chemicals. And so you have great medical records from the veterinary clinics, but you can also then match that up with any issues that their owners are having with health associated with these chemicals. And just like dogs are great models for a lot of different cancers. So matching the health of the pet with the health of the owner with whatever the pollution issues are can be a great way to tackle One Health problems. Our next committee member is Nathan Cherrington, and Nathan is Associate Dean for the College of Pharmacy. He's also the lead of the NIH-funded center, the Southwest Center of Environmental Health Sciences. Nathan has a super good excuse for not being here today, which is his daughter's a champion hurdler, and she's in the state championships today, I think, beating everybody else. So he has to be there to cheer her on. But if you're coming from the College of Pharmacy, he's also a great point person for One Health. And we're also working together on a new climate change initiative around climate change and health as part of a campus-wide program. And then Julian Rutherford, I don't think is here today. She is representing the College of Nursing on our advisory committee, and she's relatively new faculty member, but she is here virtually, so not able to speak to you today, but if you're in the College of Nursing, she's the point person there. Noel's here, Noel Warfel, and so Noel, if you could introduce yourself, representing the College of Medicine, Tucson.
Thank you. My name is Noel Warfel. I'm an associate professor in cellular and molecular medicine and also a member of the Cancer Center. And I think this One Health, I was really interested in getting involved because I think this is an amazing opportunity to expand the focus in cancer and elsewhere across the College of Medicine to encompass, new animal models and ways of looking at the basic biological questions we do, but also the more obvious link between cancer and the environment that's, really prevalent in Arizona. So yeah, if you're in the College of Medicine, please contact me if you're at all interested.
Thank you very much. And then Melissa Hertzkalavez, she is also, I think, joining us virtually, not able to speak therefore, but she is representing the College of Medicine Phoenix. And so we're, of course, trying to include as many faculty from all over our campus as possible, including the remote campuses. Finally, I'd like to introduce our One Health staff. So we have Griselda Ruse-Braun, who is here. There's Griselda. If you could just say hello.
Hi.
So Griselda is our program manager senior and also really instrumental in getting things in, such as the climate change planning grant that just went into NIH. So many different awards that are going in for submission are, she has to shepherd all the cats, and she does a great job of that. And then we have Maria Eugenia Sancho, who goes by Uge. She just started this Monday. She's our new research technician for One Health. And so as Mike Dake mentioned earlier, we've already funded 13 pilot awards. And part of Uge's position is to help our awardees with any kind of laboratory setup they need help with for their experiments that we're funding. She's also leading the development, along with Jeannie, of our One Health Fish Lab, which should be operational in a few months. And that will be then a resource for anyone who would like to try to use fish models for their One Health research. So we're in the process of getting that completed. And Uge has a Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree and a master's in aquaculture and a PhD related to things such as histopathology. So she's really a great fit for assisting with making this a productive lab that's available to anyone interested in our use of fish model. That lab is under Bio5, and we'll be able to show anyone who's interested in the lab and the capabilities in a few months. So just keep that in mind. And I'd also like to thank Kelly for helping to push that forward as we were trying to get the space and all of that for the fish lab. It also relates to our keynote talk later today. John Postlewaite will introduce later. He'll be speaking about the use of fish models in maybe some wicked problems of their own that we can learn more about. So how are we doing on time, Sophia?
It's 10:25.
Okay. Okay, great. So we have enough time for a few questions of any of our advisory committee members. The process that we do these things, such as our pilot grant competition, RII ran that competition for us, so peer reviewers were selected from all over campus, and then those peer reviews go to the advisory council, which then does the awards. So same thing will be happening with our upcoming competition for postdoctoral positions. We did this for GRA positions. We also will have funding announcements coming out for things like workshops. So if you have a great idea for developing a new center proposal or a new One Health grant to an agency that needs some brainstorming, you can get funding from our program to sequester yourselves for a couple of days at Biosphere 2 or up on top of Mount Lemmon and hash out those ideas such that by the end of a couple of days you're ready to really get something submitted to, not necessarily right then, but you have the ideas hashed out for a major submission. So those are the kinds of things that we want to do. Questions for our advisory committee members? Sophia?
That time you didn't have to run. Has anybody floated ideas around neurotoxicity yet? Do you have any involvement with neurosciences?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Great question. Sophia's my daughter, and she is our volunteer timer today, and she's also starting a PhD in the fall in pharmacology, looking at Alzheimer's issues. And so this is something we've thought a lot about, and we would love to get the Center for Innovation in Brain Sciences and other people working on neurology involved, because many of the problems that we're discussing, especially things such as the air pollutants and water pollutants that we're concerned about, are neurotoxic. And there are a lot of neurological endpoints that are important. Indeed, if you look at high levels of some contaminants like manganese exposure, at a high level causes a disease called manganism, which mimics Parkinson's disease. So we're really hoping to get people in that world also involved. It hasn't started yet, but that's definitely a goal. And maybe you can push your advisor, Robbie Rinton, to join in these efforts. So any other questions or comments for our advisory board? Okay.